Hello, this is Mr. Painter with another fabulous Quizette tutorial. Today we're working on 8th grade, Unit 2, Quizette number 1 on Thursday. Alright, here we go. Thursday, solve for h. The square root of h equals 2. Now, I'm going to make you think a little bit more today. Think about, well, what is the opposite of square root? And that is correct. If you said the opposite of square root is squared, you got it right. Now, we're going to draw the line down the middle because whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other side. So, good. So, square and square. So, what happens is square root and square cancels out. And 2 to the second power is 2 times 2. Square root and squared is h equals 2 times 2. Well, that's not bad. H equals 2 times 2 is 4, so therefore h is equal to 4. That almost looks like an n, so I'm going to make it look more like an h. There we go. H equals 4. Alright, now it's important though. Let's check and see if it's actually right. So, check. Square root of h equals 2. Take your 4, plug it in for h. So is it true that the square root of 4 equals 2? Question mark. The square root means, well, what number times what number gives you 2? And it has to be the same number times itself to get, actually, take that back. What number times what number gives you that 4 right there? So what number times what number gives you 4? Alright, if you said 2 times 2 gives you 4, that's correct. Now, when it comes to the square root, you only use one of those numbers, and therefore 2 equals 2. Check. That works. So remember though, if your final answer is h equals 4, the check just means, well, was the answer correct by having both sides equal? And the answer is yes. So P is the right answer here. Number 12. Solve for the queens. So we have queen plus 2 equals 9. Now remember, don't let the letters of the alphabet bother you. Let's just make it an easy first grade step. So something plus 2 equals 9. And I'm going to draw a line down the middle because I'm going to do some operations here. Okay, now think to yourself, what is the next step to doing the opposite of the 2? Remember, we're trying to get the box by itself. That's correct. If you said the opposite of adding 2 is subtracting 2 on both sides, you are correct. So remember, do it on both sides. So positive 2 minus 2 cancels out. Box equals 9 minus 2 is 7. But remember, the box represented Q. Alright, here we go. Check and see if it's true. Q plus 2 equals 9. So now, if Q equals 7, change that Q into 7 plus 2 should equal 9, question mark. And 7 plus 2 is 9, therefore 9 equals 9. Check, that works. So box around and find our answer here. So box around there. Q equals 7. Therefore R is 7. Alright, number 13. Solve for the dogs. So think about your first step here. What would you do? First step. If he said the first step was to draw the line or just make it into a first grade easy problem of box minus 6 equals 3, you are absolutely correct. Always make the problem easier when possible. Now think about the next step. What is the next step in this problem here? And remember, the goal is to get the box by itself. All right, if you said the next step is to add 6 on both sides, you are absolutely correct. So box comes down, losing $6 and getting $6 back cancels out, and 3 plus 6 is 9. Now remember, what does that box represent? If the box represents the variable of d, that's correct. So d equals 9. All right, here comes the check. So check. D minus 6 equals 3. And D is 9, so 9 minus 6 should give you 3, question mark. And 9 minus 6, think to yourself, is 3 equals 3. So check, D does equal 9. All right, number 14, solve for the kites. Now, don't let these fraction problems bother you, especially with the variable in there. It's just a variable or a letter, or in this case, a number that is missing. So in this case, we have kites equals a box. Fraction means divide. 3 equals 2. Oh my God, just made it so much easier right there. So now think to yourself, what is the next step? All right, and if the next step is to do the opposite of division, which is multiply both sides by 3, you are absolutely correct. Dividing and multiplying by 3 cancels out. Box equals 2 times 3 equals 6. And remember, the box represented which variable? Yes, the variable is the k. So k equals 6. Box around our answer here, and we will perform a check. All right, here we go. Run the check. Check says use the same equation here. So kites divide 3 equals 2. So remember, a fraction, divide. That's all it is. Well, plug in 6 for k and see if it works. 6 divide 3 equals 2. Is it true that 6 divide 3 is 2? Yeah. So 2 equals 2. Check. Kites are 6. All right, last one, number 15. Solve for m. So m here is a variable. Now think to yourself, what was the name of the 2? What do you call a number in front of a variable? What was that word that we use? Okay, and if you said the word is coefficient, that's correct. So coefficient, variable, and a number. So our coefficient of 2 times something will give us 6. Line down the equal sign. Opposite of multiply is divide by 2, so divide 2, divide 2. 2's cancel out. Box comes down, equals 6 divide 2 is 3. Now think to yourself, well, what did that box represent? And if you said box represented m, That's correct. So M equals 3. Now remember, check your work and write down the check too. So here we go. I'll do our check off to the side here. So check, take the same equation, 2M equals 6. Now think to yourself, what's the next step to checking our problem? And if you said plugging in M and changing it to 3, that's correct. So remember, that's 2 times 3, not 23. Don't put 23. So 2 times 3 equals 6, question mark. Two times 3 is 6 equals 6. So check M is equal to 3. Thank you. This concludes Quizette for Thursday.